Alright, welcome to the Photo Story 3 tutorial. Where I left you off, we had just downloaded and extracted the files needed for the projects. So we're going to pick up where we left off. I started Photo Story 3, and that's what you're looking at right now. It's the home screen. If you're not sure where it is, you'll have to hit the Start button, and you're going to look for Photo Story 3 in your program files, and once you find it, go ahead and tell it to start up and you'll be right where I'm at. It's defaulted to begin a new story, so I'm going to go ahead and say next. And you can see I don't have anything to work with here yet because this is blank and it says import pictures. Of course, this is a project that involves using pictures, so we have to say import pictures. And I left mine on the desktop of my computer. Now you can tell mine knows where they're at, but I'm going to say on my desktop. I'm looking for that Photo Story 3 media folder, and there it is right there. I'm going to open it up, and then you're going to see, and this is going to happen to you as well, that there's another folder inside called Photo Story 3 Media, because when we unzipped it, it just put it in a folder with the same name. So if we open that up, now we'll see a folder called Christmas and one called Abe. We're going to go ahead and open the one with Abe, and you can see inside we have a bunch of pictures of Abe Lincoln, and I've selected one of them, and if I hit Control A, the letter A on your keyboard, it selects all of the pictures in the area that I'm working in. So again, here, let me get out of that. I'll just select a picture, Control A, and I've selected all of the items in that area. I'm going to go ahead and say OK, and now all of my pictures have come into my Photo Story project. Now, simple things about Photo Story 3. You can click around this way and see what picture you're on, or you can click with the arrows here and see where you're at. And here is my first picture of Abe. I think that that's fine, but let's say that this picture at the end, I don't want it to be at the end. Maybe I want it to be second. So now I'm going to drag it to the second position and drop it, and you can see now that's my second picture. Okay, I'm just going to show you a few uses of tools as well. I'm going to go to this picture, and it's got Abe with a laptop, and I'm going to hit Edit, and you're going to see that it came from a source called freakingnews.com, and maybe I don't want that to be out where people can see it. I'll make them think I took the picture, so I'm going to hit the crop option, and I'm going to line it up on the picture, and I am going to crop out that. Oh, there we go. Now this area down here, you can see that it's going to eliminate that freakingnews.com tag, so I'm going to say reset. Oh, I don't want to say reset, because if I say reset it makes me start all over. I forgot about that. And drag it down and stretch it to where we want it. There. Now you can see that's going to get cut off. I'm going to say save and then close. And now that picture, you can see in the viewer, doesn't have that tag at the bottom. And this picture has the same thing, but this isn't Abe holding a laptop, it's just another picture of Abe. So I might edit that again, say crop, and I'm going to go ahead and pull that open and do the same thing. I'm going to just get the two-way directional arrow in the middle there, and I can eliminate the little banner at the bottom. Say save and close, and you can see that I've got it cropped off as well there. If this picture was the wrong way, I can turn it with these familiar looking arrows. If I had red eye, that's your correct red eye, and here is your color quality. I have never ever used the color quality, color correct levels. I have used the red eye tool before. It does a pretty good job of taking care of red eye. Alright, now you can see on the pictures that I've edited, you got the little edit mark there, so it lets you know, hey, you did something there. And if I actually wanted to take it away, when I went back into edit, you could see by that reset button that I accidentally hit before, if I hit that, it would send it back to the normal earlier original view of that picture. So I'm going to go ahead and say close, and we're going to go on to the next step, because I'm not going to put any more pictures in this project. I'm going to say next. Now here we have a place where you can add text, and you can put text on any one of these that you like, but I'm going to go ahead and put a title on the first picture. So I'm going to go ahead in this area, and I'm going to type Abe Lincoln. And you can see that you can't really tell that that's on there because it's black and it's on a dark picture. It's not a very good way to go. So I can drop that down to the bottom. See, this shows you the align to the top, center, or bottom, and it's currently set to the center. I'm going to send it to the bottom. Now I really can't see it, so I'm going to click on the select font where you can change the type of font you're using. I'm going to say bold, maybe make it a little bit bigger, and I'm going to not choose black but come down here and choose white. I'll say OK, and now I can see Abe Lincoln just a little bit better. Maybe it probably would be better if I made it a little bit smaller, but I think you get the idea. Now you could add text to any one of these pictures if you like. I am just going to leave it on that first step. Okay. Now this window that says effects, you can, if I click the down arrow, these give different effects to the image itself. Let's say I'm going to use this one right here. I wouldn't want to make it black and white because it's already black and white, but I think it was outline in black. That's a pretty neat effect there. But if you don't like that one, you could use watercolor, and that's not a very good one as it's black and white, and I can see it on my image. It's not a very good one to use. Charcoal, that's pretty neat looking, but I'm going to go back to that outline in black, and we'll just leave it like that as an example. Not that I'd really leave it that way, but just so you can see how you can apply an effect to a picture. And again, you see the little edited mark. And if you wanted to do that to other pictures, you can do it to other pictures as well. Any picture that you want to have an effect, you can do that too. Alright, so I've added pictures, I have added some text, and I have added an effect. I'm going to go to the next step, and in this area you can actually record narration to the screen. Now this is pretty handy. This area here is if you're doing this project with students, they can actually put the notes of what they want to say in there, and then they hit the record button and record it, and then that is attached to that part of the project where you'd hear the student recite something that or narrated something for that particular slide. I'm not going to do anything for that here, and I'm not going to ask you to have to do anything for that because that requires you to set up your microphone and make sure that it's working, and that could be a troublesome thing. However, in the classroom, if you're going to have students use this to make projects, it's a pretty good way for them to work on this project or on a group project even, where they have to add their own information or do some research and have that recited in the narration. Okay, the other thing that I want to make sure I point out on this step is custom motion. So I'm going to hit custom motion on this slide, and you can see right now PhotoStory defaults to a certain custom motion thing. It just randomly puts them in. Here you have it starting in this position and then moving up and stopping in this position. I'm going to say I want it to customize. Maybe I'll have it start on, I'm going to have it start on Abe like that, and then I'm going to have it expand out to the full picture. Okay, you can have it, and you can see down here that it's going to take it a while for it to get to that position, so this slide's going to play very slowly. What I do for my home photo stories that I'll make for relatives or whatever, I'll just put a number of seconds display. If I just want it to roll the pictures through quickly so people can see something that happened in a family event, maybe put 2 seconds on each picture, and that's usually plenty of time for it to go through the process. So I'm going to go ahead and say save and then close, and there we have the actual, the icon's different because it has 2 boxes or 2 rectangles. Now this, let me go back to that custom motion. One thing I didn't do was hit the preview of it, and it will generate the preview. See, it started on Abe and it is pulling away, and it's going to take 12 seconds for that video to get to the point where it will move then to the next slide. Actually, it was about 12 seconds. Alright, so I'm going to stop that there, end the preview, and then I'm going to close out of this, and then there's let's go to the cabin one. You can go to whatever one you want. I'm going to hit the custom motion, and this time I'm going to hit transitions. I don't typically put transitions in my projects, but for this particular case, for you guys, we'll work through one. There's a good one right here, and you can see the preview of it right there as it happens. There's several transitions to choose from. You can put a transition on every one. You can make them all different if you like. Again, this is where it gets into that. It can be time consuming. Okay, so I'm going to hit preview on that one. Hey, that looks fine to me. Again, just trying to introduce you to the different things that you can do. I'm going to say save and close, and you will see then this one has a custom motion, which is a transition. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say next because we've covered the material on this section. I'm going to say next, and now we're to the point where we're going to add music. Now I've already included some music for you to add into this project, so I'm going to say select music, and it's defaulted to the wrong place in this case. It's defaulting, it's Windows. It thinks I want to get my music from my music folder on Windows because it's a Windows program, but I don't want to get it from there. I want to get it from my desktop, and I want to get it from my Photo Story 3 media folder, and inside that I want to get it from the Abe folder, and then there's the Battle Hymn of the Republic, and it's an MP3 file which works nicely with Photo Story. So I'm going to say open, and you can see that the music went right in on top of the project. Now you can add more than one audio or sound file if you like. The way you would do that then is you would click on the place where you want the second one to start, and then say select music, and then it would start on top of that one. So Battle Hymn would end here, and whatever you chose next would be here. But remember, we're trying to keep it simple, so we're only going to put one in. The nice thing about the selecting music through Photo Story is it fades in nicely and fades out nicely automatically. You do not have to do anything. Okay, so now I could preview this project if I wanted, and it would play just fine, but I'm not going to bother doing that right now. One thing that you do need to also recognize is how to save the project. So I'm going to save this project, and this is saving as a Photo Story project. Okay, and I'm going to call it Abe, and this is a photo, see right here, save file type Photo Story 3 project file, WP3. Okay, now when I save that, if I've made any mistakes in my Photo Story, it will allow me to open that file back up and correct it. Let's say I spelled Abe's name wrong. I could go back in and I could fix that. If you don't save it at this point as a project, you will not be able to go back and save it as anything else, or you would go back and correct it, I guess I should say. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and say that we're done here. I don't need to do anything else. I've saved my project to work on later if I'd like. And actually, to see where that project went, it's in a folder called Photo Story and Abe, and you can see the icon for it here is a Photo Story icon. Okay, it's an important distinction. Students ask me about this all the time. Oh, I don't understand why it won't play. It's because you haven't made it a video yet. You have just saved your Photo Story project. Also, another thing you want to remember is if you ever move the location of these pictures, it will not know what to do when you try to edit the project as well. Like if I take that Photo Story 3 media file off the desktop of my computer and put it somewhere else, and I go back to try to correct something in the project, it won't know where those pictures came from, and you'll have to relink them up. So those are common things that can happen. So I would recommend while you're working on these projects, you leave those folders right where you downloaded them on the desktop, so you know where they're at if you need to go back and edit anything. I'm going to go ahead and say next. And now it wants to know what kind of a format you want to save it in. I always save it as save your story for playback on your computer. It's always a good option. And you can see down here, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the video, it's a .wmv. It's going to make it a Windows Media Video. So that means it will be able to be played on any computer with Windows Media Player on it. So once we make this, you can email this to anybody. Say it's a family project. You can email it to Grandma and Grandpa or Uncle Joe or Aunt Jane train and wherever they're at, and they should be able to open this video and play it as long as they have a computer that plays Windows Media. Alright, so I've selected that. It's going to save this onto my desktop. Actually, it's trying to save it into my documents, I can see here, into my videos, documents, videos. But I'm going to say browse, and I recommend you do this as well so you know where the heck it went. And we're going to put it on my desktop. Okay, so it's going to be a file called Abe, Windows Media Video. Okay, it's called Abe, and it's on my desktop. So when I'm done saving this, I'm going to know where it's at. So I'm going to say it's all set up now, and I'm going to say next, and you can see the process is underway. It's already on step 2. Step 3, again, this is going to go quick because there weren't that many pictures actually in the video. And right here you can view your story and play it from here. I'm going to go ahead and say exit out of the project, and I'm going to drag it. It's on my desktop. I'm going to drag it in here. That's right where I left it. Or I told it to go to the desktop. It went to the desktop. I just drug it into the recording area here so you could see it. I'm going to go ahead and double click on it. Windows Media Player starts up. You can hear and see it play. Now, I'm not sure if you actually can hear it or see it, as I know my headphones that I'm recording this with, it played the audio through there, so it might not have recorded into the video itself. Anyway, there is how to make a simple Windows Media photo story project, and it will play on Windows Media. Okay, all right.